Hey, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee, here to inspect the two hives where I put nuke boxes in. It's the one right here with the white lid, and the one over there on the far side with the white lid as well. So on this one here, I couldn't find the queen, so I am gonna add in the frames that I was missing from before and take a look for the queen just to make sure everything's okay. I've got hive reducers on. I'm gonna probably remove them. It's another scorching hot day. It's gonna be our 6th day in a row where we've got temperatures in the 30s here, which puts us into the mid to high 90s. We had one day peak out at like 110 degrees in the last few days, and still 2 or 3 hot days before things ease up. So hopefully I'll be able to find the queen, add in the frames that I missed, and that'll be it for this quick inspection. Okay, so in this hive I'm very interested in finding the queen. I thought I found the queen, but upon further inspection I may not have found the queen. Interesting, I've never seen... Can you see all these little black specks on there? I suppose they might be bee poos, but I've never seen them quite that small and quite that shape. Usually they're sort of round little droplets, but anyway. Looks like there's a decent amount of bees in here. You can see them just awaiting my arrival. Just having a peek at the edge. I always find that so neat. Right up until the point that I smoke them. But I'm going to try and not smoke these guys much. It's a new hive. I just installed it 10 days ago or so. They do have some burr comb built up. I'll give them one shot in there. Now again, the thing that worries me a little bit about this hive, and we can see it already, is that because I only have 4 frames in there, see, they've already started to build out their own frames, and it's a shame. I'd love to be able to keep them building this comb out, but it's going to get pretty disorganized in that hive. So I will revert back to, I'll put the rest of the frames in. And just having a look for the queen here on this board. Don't see her. Decent number of bees in this nuke. I will take care of that comb at the end of the inspection now. So I'm going to try and look for her here and set up these frames. I am going to stagger these frames because I don't really have to worry about brood being kept warm, really having warm days here, so they should have no problem keeping this brood warm even overnights. This is a gorgeous brood frame. Looking for the queen on here, but I don't see her. Another gorgeous brood frame. So because this frame isn't all honey, I'm not going to take it all the way to the outside. I'll make it the second frame in. You can see a little bit of a queen cup being formed here and there. So I'm just going to have a look to see if there's any eggs inside there. No, I don't see any eggs. But again, if I haven't found the queen, then it could be that that this hive is queenless. So obviously I'm looking for eggs as well. There's a lot of freshly hatched brood, and if we can find the queen or find sign of the queen, then I'll know this hive is going to be alright. Okay, so next frame, I'm going to move the smoker just because it's smoking me more than anything else. Completely empty frame. So this could be a frame where you see the queen laying. don't see her anywhere. There's the queen right there. There she is, right here. Beautiful queen, right there. See her? Bring her nice and close. She's right at the bottom, moving towards my right hand with the hive tool in it. See her? So, we know she's good, we know she's safe. It's at the very bottom of the box right now, bottom of the frame right now. I'll wait till she moves up on the frame. There she is right there, back up on the frame, moving her way up. I'll carefully place her in, keeping an eye on her, so that I know I'm not going to squish her. Alright, so this hive does have a queen. We know she's in there. I know she's not on the box, so I can knock those bees in. And I'll just continue the checkerboarding this hive. And it's considered a successful nuke. They are building a lot of bees. There's a decent amount of bees in here. So far so good with this first of 2 nukes. In the other nuke, I spotted the queen there as well, and there were a lot of bees already in that nuke, so I won't spend too much time with that one. I'll just show you this frame here as well. It's a honey frame. Honey and nectar in the middle, and honey and some brood on the outside. So we'll set that here as well. That'll complete the checkerboarding. And again, it's too bad that I didn't get to them in time to prevent this this comb buildup, but I will use that comb obviously, and I'll drop these bees right back in the hive. And this hive is good. That completes this inspection of nuke number 1. I'll be back with you with nuke number 2 in a sec. Okay, so I'm on my second nuke now, and again, I spotted the queen on the initial install here, so I'm not worried about that part of the inspection. Nothing on the lid. Here, all I want to do is checker the frames. I didn't have all my empty frames with me when I did the initial install, so now I just want to finish checkering them, clean up the burr comb that they have created in the last few days because they had a mostly empty box, and then move on from there. And you can tell there's a lot of burr comb because it's just so difficult to open that inner lid. Heard a whole bunch of them fall down to the ground too, so I'll give them just a little shot of smoke. So far I'm very happy with these bees. I don't know their species. They're really a mix of a bunch of different Californians, Italians, Corniolans. There you can see the burr comb mess that we've got, because I just didn't have the frames in there. So I'll just look for the queen on here, make sure she's not on here. These queens are all unmarked, but I found them both, so I'm going to practice more. I'm going to do another video on practicing finding the queen, because that might be able to help somebody. I've needed a lot of help in that and a lot of practice myself, so hopefully I can do a video that will shed some light on some good practices for that. So right now though, mostly it's just a cleanup, installing the frames that I didn't install initially, which caused this burr comb mess, and then I am going to checkerboard the new frames to some degree with the old frames, just to spur them on to maybe build out a little faster. I mean, it really isn't a problem. These bees are doing gangbusters, so that's great. First frame is empty. I'm going to start off with an empty frame on the outside. And then I'll just move this frame over. I'm basically contemplating that the queen can be on any frame here, so just going to carefully move it over. I am going to smoke them a bit. Just so that they move away from the edges where the frame is going to touch. Move them off the top of that burr comb as well. Pretty good there now. This is the other thing I found, that sometimes when you remove burr comb, you trap bees in the wax. And you think that's it for them, but they actually escape out of that pretty easily. The ones that don't, I help them escape so that we don't have any lost bees because of my stupidity. Okay, last bit of burr comb here. Ladies, go. Okay, we'll put another empty frame in. So good resources here. They've already completely taken the pollen patties that I put in, 10 days ago? And they're gone. So they are using up pollen. Some good honey in here too. So I should start feeding these guys too. I probably will this week, just to keep things going strong. But it's a good looking nuke. I'll clean up the burr comb and I'll be up to 6 hives now, buzzing away. I could be extracting honey from my last year's 2 strong hives as early as this week, so stay tuned for that. We'll see how that goes. So that's it. I'm just going to clean up the burr comb. No point in showing you that. Thanks for joining me at 4D Honeybee, up to 6 hives now.